Obama, President Obama, paid $1.8 billion for hostages. You, not me, you, last night you saw it, Kim Jong-un did a great service to himself, to his country by doing this. But those hostages came out with respect. We didn't pay for them.
Just something the president was talking about last night in Elkhart, Indiana.
That's right. Let's bring in Diamond and Silk social media stars and Trump supporters. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your reaction to that? The president said he did something that President Obama could never do. He brought home our hostages for free.
Well, you know, the president is absolutely correct. You know, Obama paid billions for hostages. He traded off terrorists for American hostages, but President Trump didn't have to do that. You know, Obama, I know he's upset because he thinks that his legacy is being tarnished, but his legacy didn't have a leg to stand on.
That's right.
President Trump didn't waver. He didn't back down. He didn't mince his words. And look, we have Americans back on our soil where they belong.
Why do you both feel like they won't? Some on the left in the so-called mainstream media still won't give him any credit. They're saying, you know, this approach in North Korea isn't going to work. Why won't they ever do that?
Because they're envious, because they're jealous, because he's been able to do in between 16 to 18 months what Obama could not do in 8 years. That's why they won't give him credit. Listen, this president is not to be played with. There's a new sheriff in town. We call him President Donald J. Trump, and he is not playing. He's going to get the job done, and they are envious and jealous because they could never do that.
That's right.
Well, ladies, you're down in Washington, D.C. This week. They've been having the confirmation hearings for Gina Haspel to be the next CIA director. The whole conversation has turned to enhanced interrogation and waterboarding, which now the government doesn't do. But listen to this. Here's Whoopi Goldberg yesterday on The View with the plan for POTUS.
Remember how the gentleman in the White House talked about torture on the campaign trail? What I'd like to say is I would like you to try it. I think people who have actually been tortured, who are saying this is not a good thing, you should listen to them because you have never been tortured, and neither has Dick Cheney.
So what do you think?
Well, you know, why don't Whoopi Goldberg try it? She needs to try respecting the President of the United States is what she needs to try to do. The President of the United States is not a terrorist. He's an American. He's our president. So why would we waterboard him? If she want to try what waterboarding feel like, why don't she do it? Another thing, why don't she champion around Gina Haspel to make sure that she gets this position? Because wouldn't she be the first woman in this position? So you should be championing around this woman that's going to get this high position is what you should be doing.
That's right.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Garden State. Pete and I live there, and now, ladies, as it turns out, we are subsidizing things for illegal aliens because the Garden State is now allowing for illegal aliens to apply for state financial aid at the universities. And here's the best part, for instance, at Rutgers, which is just across the river from where we're sitting, down a couple of miles, illegals can qualify for in-state tuition. Not in the country legally, but they get in-state tuition.
You know, I think that's very sad. And who's paying for this? American tax dollars. What about the American students? What about American people that goes to school that have to pay student loans until they're about 50 or 60 years old? Yet we allow people to cross our borders illegally.
That's right.
And now we give them handouts like grants for them to go to college. What about the American people? I think it's sad. I think it's sick. I think every American that goes to college should be outraged and speak out about this.
And they committed their first crime whenever they crossed that border illegally. When an American citizen do something illegally, they are given 3 hots and a cop behind a locked cell block. Not no funding.
Ladies, what are you doing in Washington today?
Oh, we was in Washington for an event last night with Sarah Palin.
Yes, it was
Governor
amazing.
Sarah Palin,
it was amazing.
Very cool.
All right, ladies, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you both.
You know who's good with technology, though?
Anyway.
Are Diamond and Silk, because that's where you might know them with their videos. Social media stars and Trump supporters, Diamond and Silk. Good morning to you. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
So we hear that you sent in a photo of your moms.
Yeah, my mom.
Mom singular.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
I love that.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
That is
She's got to be
great
proud.
picture.
She's got to be proud.
Yes, she is.
It's because of that woman right there that we are who we are.
Yeah.
We love her so much.
A great salute to moms everywhere for sure.
So there's this guy, Tom Steyer. He's a liberal. You know him for pushing ads about global warming and horrific things are happening. And he wants to impeach President Trump. And now he has this ad that we want you to react to. It's sort of reaching out to moms on Mother's Day saying, you know, go after your kids who might be conservative supporting Trump. Watch.
I started noticing some issues with him, maybe in middle school. He was never afraid to talk with girls. But things never really worked out for some reason. I worried when he went to college. But he came home often. I guess he never really learned to do his own laundry. It wasn't until I met his college buddies that I realized it might be too late. This Mother's Day, talk to your child about the GOP.
So what do you guys think about that?
Well, you know, it sounds like what's wrong with these Democrats is they're trying to recreate their history or hide their history. But we all know the real history about the Democratic Party, how they were the party of the KKK, how they were the party that created the Jim Crow days, and how they are the party that's now dividing our country. And you know what? It's time to vote these Democrats out.
Yeah.
This is the party, you all, that's spewing hatred in our country, and this is the party that we don't need running anything around.
And it's really funny that the Democrats is all for gun control, but they're okay with killing babies.
Well, Sam, think about the implication that if you support the GOP, you must be marching in Charlottesville with tiki torches and you're a white supremacist. I mean, where does that argument come from?
Listen, the GOP is the party of freedom, okay? Freedom, free to think for yourself, free to do whatever you want to do. The Democratic Party, what they want to do is they want to control you. They want to have you in a slavery mindset, it's not going to work. And all Americans need to take a look at who's trying to represent this country. This party right here is not a good party for the country.
All right. Well, speaking about Democrats and someone that still wants to represent the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton, who did her book tour here in the United States. Now she has gone abroad. She was recently in Australia, in Melbourne, had a lot to say about President Trump, about the Iran deal. But at one point, she talked about women and how Americans feel uneasy about women, particularly in leadership positions. Listen to this.
There is still a very large proportion of the population that is uneasy with women in positions of leadership. And so the easiest way to kind of avoid having to look at someone on her merits is to dismiss her on her looks.
Reaction to that, ladies?
Well, you know, we're not uneasy about women. We were uneasy about her abusing her power. And we understand that she may have had it in her bucket list, or on her bucket list, to run for president. But guess what? Those buckets was full of sand and empty promise, and the American people know that. So listen, she don't get to play musical chairs with the presidency. We've already had a Clinton in office. It's time for her to go drink a glass of Chardonnay and sit down somewhere. She's not running anything in this country.
Or stay in the woods.
Yes.
Ooh, those are some tough words.
You know, a Mother's Day message, you might say, on this Mother's Day. I think every mother, we would agree, should have a glass of Chardonnay this morning, right?
Yes, a glass of good old Chardonnay, especially Hillary Clinton.
Diamond and Silk, good to see you this morning.
Happy Mother's Day to you both. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
We love you.
I would love to meet their mom.
We love you, too. I know.
You know she would have a fiery personality.
We should have her on.
Yeah, that's who we should book.
Yep.
This week, First Lady Melania Trump unveiled her Be Best children's anti-bullying campaign, a great initiative.
I feel strongly that as adults, we can and should be best at educating our children. Today, I'm very excited to announce Be Best.
But she was attacked immediately by the media.
There are a lot of realities that she's dealing with. This is a first lady who is not culturally American, but she is learning the ways.
Then New York Times reporter Glenn Thrush criticizing her grammar, tweeting, "For non-English speakers, preferably those from Eastern Europe, is be best an idiom in your language?" And the far-left haters on Twitter mocking her accent. Here to react, video bloggers and Trump supporters Diamond and Silk. Ladies, always good to have you back, but I mean, aren't Republicans, they're supposed to be the ignorant, dumb ones that are criticizing the accents of immigrants, not the enlightened cultural elites in the mainstream media, right?
But you see, the Democrats are the ones doing it, like the April Ryan. She probably only know how to speak one language compared to our First Lady that know how to speak 5 languages. You know, I really wish that they would lay off of this First Lady. She's doing a phenomenal job. And just leave her alone. She's doing a great job. And for them to demean her and disparage her is saddening to me. It's very sad. If the shoe was on the other foot, they wouldn't have done this here kind of thing to Michelle Obama.
That's right. They're really letting the hate show. It's really showing, and it's a shame.
Yeah, you mean the high heel was on the other foot. Don't forget. Those stilettos are pretty tall. Also, Michelle Obama, former First Lady, saying she's very concerned about women in America. Let's listen.
In light of this last election, I'm concerned about us as women and how we think. If we're not comfortable with the notion that a woman could be our president compared to what? You know, we have to have that conversation with ourselves as women.
I think Kanye needs to get to the First Lady there because it doesn't sound like she's a free thinker. Aren't women allowed to vote Republican and Democrat however they want?
We are allowed. You know, with all due respect, Michelle Obama, we don't need her lecturing us about who we should and should not vote for. And what she needs to do is maybe ask the question. Maybe she's feeling guilty about the fact that she didn't vote for Hillary Clinton back in when they were running back in 2007. Maybe that's what she's feeling guilty about. And why does she keep talking about Hillary Clinton? Was Hillary Clinton supposed to be given a kickback, paddywhack, give a dog a bone by somebody? And Hillary Clinton can run tomorrow, we still won't vote for her, even if she tried to lure us in with hot sauce. Absolutely not.
That's a great point. You know, if she's supposed to be pro-women, she should have voted against her husband in the Democratic primary in 2008 and voted for Hillary. Okay. Lastly, we have Maxine Waters going nuts on the House floor with Congressman Mike Kelly tried to make a point. Maxine wasn't having it.
We are trying to make sure that we're making America great every day in every way. And the best way to do that is to stop talking about discrimination and start talking about the nation. We're coming together as a people in spite of what you say.
I resent that, and I resent the remark about making America great again. He's down here making a speech for this dishonorable president of the United States of America. Having said that, I reserve the balance of my time, and no, I do not yield not 1 second to you. Not 1 second. Not 1 second to you.
Wow. Mad Maxine getting a little feisty on the floor there, ladies.
Let me tell you what's wrong with Maxine and these Democrats. They're upset because they dropped the ball on the American people by ignoring us and giving us enough to keep us quiet, but not enough to make a difference. So a businessman come along named Donald Trump and pick up that same ball, and now he scored a touchdown by giving us tax cuts and more money in our pocket. What Maxine Waters needs to know is that Republicans believe in going to work and working. Maybe she needs to switch her party to Republican so she can get to work.
That's right, because we know that they call her the poverty pimp. That's because she live in a mansion while the district she represents live in poverty.
All right. There they are, the ladies, Diamond and Silk. Chit Chat Tour underway. Go to diamondandsilk.com to find out more. Thank you guys very much.